I've spent many a times with this man, not just in his office, but we spent time having meals together, and he has told me without a doubt that this is his home. This is where he wants to play football. So even in the beginning, when I didn't believe that the Raiders wanted to stay here, he convinced me. And it wasn't just him trying to, pull the wool over anybody's eyes. His heart, and he convinced me that his heart is here in Oakland. So I think that I don't ever fault him for looking around and when people call him, but I think it does put the pressure on us that people do want this team. And if we want this team, we need to be serious about it, and we need to be the ones calling him too. And I think people should quit doubting his desire to stay here in Oakland.
Right here, Zenny.
Does this also mean that there's a lower priority placed on the county selling its interest in the Coliseum? That we're sort of back to where we have been, if you will?
Do you want to answer that one?
I think the one thing the county wants to do is do what we can to assure that all the professional sports teams remain here in Oakland. And one way we can provide more flexibility is paying off the bond indebtedness. The city has agreed that they're comfortable with us doing that. We pay off the bond indebtedness on the property out here, the Coliseum property, about $100 million. The city would pay us back their share of that. That gives us more flexibility to come up with a stadium deal with the Raiders. So we're definitely committed to that. I think that moves us in that direction. There are other pieces that need to come into place, but that definitely happens. And the other thing I would say is, once again, Larry's been on the JPA and a council member for a long time. Scott's been a county supervisor for a long time. I've been on the city council and a county supervisor. So, we have a lot of experience, and given an opportunity, I think we can make things happen working with the Raiders.
Thank you.
Right here.
Hi, Rachel Swan, San Francisco Chronicle. Mark Davis, you have expressed in the past that you would like control of 120 acres of land at the Coliseum site. Are you still asking for control of 120 acres, and are you willing to pay for it?
All right, here's what I want to say about that 120 acres and everything else. Right now, where the Coliseum sits, on that parking lot, there's 120 acres. There's parking, there's an arena. We like the game day experience of tailgating on that parking lot. We do not want to give that up. Now, there's two teams playing in that Coliseum. One of them is the Oakland A's, one of them is the Oakland Raiders. Now, people have not listened when I've said, I do not mind if we build two stadiums on that site. The A's stadium would take about 12 acres, the Raiders stadium would take about 15 to 17 acres. That's fine with me, but I do not want to give up the parking. If in fact, the A's do want to stay in the Oakland Coliseum site, they need to commit ASAP so that we can go ahead and design and take down the Coliseum, provide all the infrastructure that's necessary to build two brand new stadiums in Oakland, and two teams will then come back in and play in two brand new stadiums. What I do not want to do is build a football stadium in the corner of a parking lot while the Oakland Coliseum is still standing, and then once we have a brand new stadium, we begin to tear down or build a new baseball stadium and then tear down the Oakland Coliseum, disrupting the ingress, egress, and parking and tailgating experience for the Raider fans on game day. So what it's going to take to get something done on this site and in Oakland, at least on the Coliseum site, is for the A's to make a commitment to Oakland and tell the people what they want to do. And they've got to tell these people here, and these people here have to tell me what's going to happen. That's what I've been saying continually and consistently all the way along. Now, as far as control of that land, I don't know whether it be a long-term lease. I don't know whether it be a purchase. I don't know how that works. But whatever costs are attached or added to the cost of building a stadium have to be taken care of somehow. We have to figure that out. So if in fact there's a price to that land, that goes to the increased cost of the stadium. That's all I can say. The Raiders right now had $500 million to put towards the stadium here in Oakland. Now we have $600 million because the NFL has added another $100 million. That's what we're bringing to the table. We've got a football franchise that wants to be here, and we've got $600 million to help build a stadium, and it will create jobs and everything else in this community. That's what I can tell you.
Ken?
Hi,
Question?
Ken Houston, community advocate. Oakland has the most dedicated fans. I mean, we are the most dedicated fans in the league. Besides buying tickets and being as dedicated as we are, what else can citizens do to show that we want you to stay here?
I have no doubt personally about the fans of the Raiders in Oakland. There's no question in my mind. What you just said has to be heard by the people that are sitting up here next to me and understand how important we are to you. And I believe these people do understand that. But the message has to be clear to them. You don't have to sell me. I put on the table what we can do, and we want to stay. We need help.
One more question, right back here.
Yes, Brian Dixon, Forever Oakland. Just want to know, if you're talking about the game day experience and stuff with the fans, will the top deck Mount Davis feed finally taken off on the tarp so we can fill it up to 63,000 just like it was in 2011?
It will not. Not this season.
Okay, Mark, I'd like to thank you very much for being a partner, for being a great community citizen, and the heritage and the history of your family, and your being here and the commitment you've made to all of us in coming today. And Larry and my board members, I'd like to thank all of you for the support that you gave us as we tried to work this through. And last but not least, my good friend Mark Bedane. Deals like this are not easy to get done. A lot of midnight telephone calls. Mark, I deeply appreciate the effort and the hard work you put in helping us. So with that, thank all of you for coming and have a very nice day.
I'd just like to say one more thing, that we do have an opportunity to create a new future in Oakland, and let's try to do that, and that's what we're here to do. All right.